Greetings, friends. It's Coleraine or Coleraine Tarot here on YouTube. My pronouns are they, them, and I am so grateful that you're here today for this reading from the Ocean Spirit. So I am freshly out of a dip in the ocean, and I was just feeling so connected to the Ocean Spirit and wanting to deliver some mystery messages from that powerful, beautiful entity energy. So I personally believe that there are water spirits in many different places in the world. And so depending on what ocean is near you, hopefully this will encompass all of the oceans as a collective spirit and be able to bring through messages for you. I also felt like there might be some messages coming from the moon spirit as well. So if you are synced up as you've been listening to me to the energies of the three piles, I would love to invite you to go ahead and find that timestamp below. Otherwise, maybe pause the video, take a few minutes to meditate or a few seconds to meditate, however long it takes you to sink in, and I will see you in your reading. Greetings, Group 1. If you selected this ametrine tumble, this is your reading from the Ocean Spirit. And the Ocean Spirit, I feel for you, is really coming through immediately with this message of grounding and connecting to your body, to what your body's trying to tell you, the wisdom of that space, even the heart space in particular. Oh yeah, especially with this card, I just realized I wasn't even looking, but yeah, you actually got two opening cards, so I want to give you a moment to be able to see these two images intuitively and just pick up on their energy. So yeah, definitely time to ground and connect to the heart. I'm even noticing that there are lotuses in this like water goddess, water nymph's hair, as well as this lotus that's centralized in this card right here. So it feels like you're in quite an ethereal energy, Group 1, and you've been allowing yourself to almost like express your wings, maybe with these wings coming out. So maybe you've been really vividly dreaming, receiving a lot of insight from spirit, and maybe even connecting to the elementals in nature. I'm seeing too that message about the lotuses in the hair and the lotuses around this person. It may mean that you've been connecting with nature through crafting or creating things from the earth around you. So yeah, I'm just feeling this energy of creativity, of exploring the other realms, maybe even exploring your own inner realms. So this is such a beautiful, like, I want to say fertile energy that's coming from you, but definitely it's important for you to ground this ethereal energy. Otherwise it might become a little difficult, especially with this lotus down here at the base. It's like it might become a little difficult to figure out how to manifest using this energy or transform by bringing this energy in. So let's see what these say. So I'm going to read this one first. This is the crown chakra, the unlimited self. And it says, the crown chakra is your link to the multidimensionality of your being, the seat of your soul. It gracefully connects you to the heavens. The infinity symbol of limitlessness appears within the unfolding petals and points to your most potent potential. Here you can delight in the divine strands of light that dance with us when we are aligned with spirit, purpose, and truth. Be present and flow without rigid outcomes. Find more spaces in your life. Find your own way to meditate. Explore the state of flow and be receptive to the intuitive messages you may receive. So definitely that's that ethereal energy and needing to ground it through, I'm feeling like for a lot of you, this might be moving meditation with that word dance coming out. Yeah, being aligned with spirit, whatever you feel like your heart is inspiring within you in terms of what might be healing towards you, what might help you to step into your divine purpose at this time. I feel like you're bringing in a lot of energy that is helping you to get more present and feel more satisfied within the present moment. So let's see what this card says, the one that was with it when you chose. So this is luminescence. When we journey through life from our hearts, it illuminates the darkness. Illusion drops away and we see what is real. Consider the parts of yourself you may not be accepting. You may be experiencing inner dissonance due to what you are trying to push away. This card is about self-love, deep, compassionate, unconditional love that brings you into wholeness. Luminescence means essence of light. Nothing shines like a heart emanating with love. You can shine through the shadows most gracefully when there is no fear within. Accept all your shades to allow more light and love inside and out of your world. So yeah, I feel like part of this, what the ocean wants to tell you is that it's time for you to drop into that heart space and let go of grief. And for some of you, I'm feeling the emotion of guilt as well, like feeling guilty for certain transgressions in relationships, even guilt within your relationship to the earth, because I know that a lot of us who are sensitive, when we begin to awaken, we realize all of the difficulties in the relationship that we have with the earth as human beings and what our collective really does in relationship to the earth. And so sometimes that can bring with it guilt, but the ocean is saying, like, there is so much power within the earth to transmute and absorb denser energies, even like polluting type energies. And it's time for you to be able to tap into that potent energy within yourself so that you may recognize that your body made of earth also has the power to transmute and regulate certain energies. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is through certain things like moving meditation, through, for others of you, it's everything's going to be movement based, but it might be like working out or going on walks, like something else that would be considered movement meditations. It doesn't have to just be something that would be traditionally considered a meditation per se. This just feels like an opportunity for you to reconnect into that frequency of the heart space and really understand that your hands, even I'm seeing, are like extensions of being able to bring in and receive love in your life. And so whatever you are doing physically can bring in more love in your life through these small, like, hand gestural based things. So for some of you, this is like communication. For others of you, this is just in preparing these certain activities for yourself or others. But I definitely want to go in a little deeper and see what else we can get from the ocean spirit here, because I feel like there's more to tell you. Okay, so I saved you from having to watch me shuffle, but I did pull some tarot. So we have a 3 of axes, which says morning. And we have the 8 of shields, which says sand painter, from the Native American tarot. And these other 2 are from my deck, Apocalyptic Theater. And you've got the Royal of Air and Physis, which is the 3rd arcana. So there's something here about someone having a child. So if you are a parent or you have a lot of kids that, like, maybe you're a teacher or something, or you work with kids in some other way, but it feels like there is a sense of you trying to separate these feelings of mourning from the children, or someone who's more innocent in some ways. And I think that's why maybe your heart is needing your attention, and the ocean spirit is reminding you to go into the heart space. And also, again, they're using the hand to do something creative, to set up even a protective sigil. With the 8 of shields too, it's like protecting your energy, protecting what you are trying to create, protecting your your body again through this, like, there's this asana pose. So this moving meditation, maybe yoga, is really good for you at this time, and the ocean wants you to find that flow within the body, be within that flow. But yeah, there's something about creative and physical flow that is being encouraged by the ocean spirit to get through this morning stage. 3 of axes would be like 3 of swords. So it's like physically moving the energy through the heart space, through pumping, through movement. And I think like doing this is also, if you are having kids around you, going to show kids by example, like the kids in your life, or the youth, or the more innocent in your life, maybe even just friends who have inner children that need that kind of guidance and support, just showing them how you can use this energy to cleanse, to let something go. To create things that are protecting your energy, that are carrying you forward. Through this energy of like self-care, self-love, because physis means nature. It is our nature. It's about our nature, our body, how we are, again, connected to the earth. So earthing, grounding, creativity, movement, meditation is all being highlighted. I want to roll the dice for this royal, and we've got the 0. So, and even the 8's kind of showing its face, but the 0 is about complete new beginnings, starting fresh, trying something new, being in that beginner's mind, not really knowing how something's going to work out or how you might even approach doing something like this, but trusting. And I'm really feeling called all of a sudden to read from the Sand Painter in the Native American Tarot. Oh, this box is falling apart. So, and this guidebook is all about Native American cultures. So this says, Pueblo elders tell that the gods were the first to make sacred pictures. The gods, however, evoked them in black clouds spread over the earth or lodge floor. The people used sand instead, since they did not have the ability of the gods. Sand was considered a very good medium because no one could steal sand paintings or the inherent powers therein. So yes, creating something within the earth, an energy from the earth that holds great significance to you. These masterpieces, beautiful as they were created for one day only. They were endowed with supernatural significance, their purpose being for use in a healing rite or for the destruction of a disease or evil. I have spoken here in the past tense, but sand painting is still used today as it was in antiquity. A medicine man, usually with helpers, has to work for hours to create the magic tapestry. The transitory image comes into being like a stained glass window, bit by bit, with the trickle of crushed sandstone, pollen, or charcoal from a tree that has been struck by lightning. By sunset, however, it must be literally scattered to the winds, so evil spirits will not be drawn to the power to do mischief. There are scores of different designs depending on the specific use or ritual desired or the nature of the illness to be combated. For Sand Painter, we have chosen a more obscure design, one used in exorcisms. 3 8-pointed stars have been drawn at the corners of a triangle that encases a human figure with a coyote's head. The medicine man is adding the finishing touches. The colored sands he has been working with lie on a special cloth in the background. The essence of the Sand Painter is luck through spiritual and artistic pursuits, but one must remain in tune with nature. Beautiful. That's exactly what I was feeling. So definitely nature magic is really important. Just going for it. 0, I feel like, is a very intuitive number, because when you tap into the spiritual and creative energy, you are going to naturally go into that place of mourning to be able to touch that energy and move it through, because it's part of your nature to feel all sides of the spectrum. And with this Royal of Air too, it's talking about grounding that spiritual energy into the physical so that you may understand the lesson and the purpose for that energy in your life. So let's get you a final message from the Earth Alchemy Oracle. And this is going to be an ally or a guide who's going to assist you. And we have the Lilac Spirit Quartz, community, healing, division, teamwork, and freedom. So definitely it's important for you to bring people together. I'm just feeling like this group is full of folks that, you know, like I said, are working with kids, working with groups, giving a lot. And so it's important that you take this time to connect your heart to the earth, to connect to this whole entire picture, and know that you can lean on others for support as well. So if you have been considering getting something like some energy healing or personal reading, or even something like a massage or a pedicure or a haircut, even going to see a therapist, something like that, someone who can really support you through tending to something that is within your physical body, that's within your physical needs, is really going to help you to lift your energy and bring that soft, soothing comfort to the heart space as it's needed right now, so that you can make it through a specific transition and feel held and like you belong within the earth. And I think that's essentially what earth magic does for us, is that, like the sand painting, it's a temporary response of, you know, I belong here, I have this innate connection to the earth, and the earth has this innate connection back to me, and that we can connect with each other's spirits permanently or temporarily to create some type of energy in motion that will influence both of us in a positive and healing way. So that is all I am feeling from the Ocean Spirit for you, Group 1. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you to the Ocean Spirit and any other spirit guides that brought through messages that you needed to hear today. I love you so much, and I will see you in another reading. Greetings, Group 2. If you selected this little seashell, this is your reading from the Ocean Spirit. I love this little shell. I just think that it has such beautiful energy. It almost looks like it has like an eye on it to me. And some like tortoise shell on the edges. So yeah, for this group, I'm really feeling like it's important for you to take the time to slow down and connect in with what your true desires are at the moment. For some of you, I was just immediately getting the sense that you've been really trying to find another opportunity or another stream of income, or make something happen in the physical world related to like work, making an investment, something like that. So let's see what this card that you selected has to say. And I'm showing you this so you can get some intuitive messages from the card as well. It looks like this person is watching this blue orb that's being like psychically transmitted from this flower that also kind of has that like cheetah tortoise shell print that was on the shell that you chose. And there's like butterflies in these bubbles. So it looks like once these bubbles pop, they're going to release kind of bursts of change, metamorphosis, flight, freedom. So it feels like there's some stuff where you're just on the precipice of receiving this information that will help you, this insight for either where you want to go, and what you want to invest in, or who you want to invest in. So it says endless opportunities. It's wonderful to have the freedom to choose. However, sometimes indecision can be almost suffocating. So get into your body and let your gut feeling guide the way. You have options and opportunities you may not have realized. The universe wants to give you what you want. It's all there, so reach out and wholeheartedly choose it. While you sit on the fence, your experiences are diluted or confusing. We live in a time of choices. Sometimes reason and limitation direct our choices, and we feel unfulfilled as a result. Choose life from a place of heart, compassion, integrity, and you can't go wrong. So this feels like you're your connection to the ocean is bringing in this awareness of the fact that, like the ocean, there are endless possibilities. And, you know, sometimes we can feel like it's a really small world, like the people around us kind of are showing us, you know, their potential or what they believe, and it feels like that can be kind of the end all and be all sometimes. But it feels like the ocean is reminding you that there are broader horizons, there are other opportunities, there are other perspectives, other ways of thinking, ways of being. So some of you, I feel like, have been kind of maybe limited or trapped in certain, I want to say, like systematic ways of thinking. So for some of you, it's like categorizing yourselves, maybe through like certain mental health diagnoses or symptom lists. And for others of you, it has to do with just subscribing, to a way of thinking that has just been limiting you and limiting what you feel like you can do when it comes to, for a lot of you, it just feels like your place in the world, your career, what you're studying, what you're doing for a paycheck. It's so varied because there's so many people here, and this is a general reading. For others of you, it's also talking about like business decisions or things that you invest your time in, that feel like they're more than just for fun. It's like you're investing in a whole community or a tradition in some way with the shaman. So there's like a deeper need to connect with, again, like your role in the community. I'm noticing too that the moon's in the sky, but the sun is on the teepee. The sun is on the dwelling place. So it's like your ego might be trying to tell you to be part of the village, part of the people, do things in the way that they've always been done. But then there's an intuitive force that's guiding you. And it's about balancing these two and not getting caught up in what people believe is possible, but seeing that you might have a role that's a little unconventional, or you might be wanting to do something that brings a lot of spiritual change to yourself and others. I know this is a little broad, but yeah, it's about being decisive as to what exactly you're gonna do, because I feel like a lot of you are kind of sitting on your laurels in a way, like you have something that you're good at that you've been cultivating, but it may be like now that it's time to make that decision, you're kind of doubting that guidance or doubting what you've been investing all this time and energy into. And so the shaman makes decisive and sometimes shocking decisions that are outside of logic. And with the devil here, this is also describing, you even have 5 and 15. So the number 5 is probably important. There's a lot of change that's wanting to come into your life. And with 15, it adds up to a 6 as well. So this is like 5 and then 6, like turning into making a more harmonious decision and listening to the fact that, yes, there are many forces that might try and guide you or try and tell you what to do, but ultimately it's going to be your own inner decision, your own ability to don the energy that you need. And what I mean by that is like put on the costume, like this is showing, put on that energy and really embody it and go to practice with that. It's going to help you to take up the torch, to start doing what is what is being asked of you. I wish the ocean spirits really, it's funny because the ocean spirit is very like go with the flow. And so I'm feeling like for a lot of you, this is the challenge. Like I'm feeling like your ego is like asking like, but what do you mean by that? Like I've gotten this message in so many different forms. And the reason why it keeps being repeated to you is because it's not about listening to the logic. If you're going to follow a spiritual path, there's not going to be the certainty. Even if you are following in a structure, like where we're meant to be is so personal and so individual in a lot of ways that we have to really like get comfortable with being in that creator energy where we're touching the unknown, where we're crossing to the other side like the shaman represents. Yeah, even on the bottom of the deck is the Fool. So getting in between that sun and moon energy and finding a balance between the intuition and the knowing or the conscious. And really getting practice working with that through times of transformation. I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to have to bring in some more like travel or, you know, going out and meeting people if you're looking for a job. There's something about taking action as well while you're under the protection of like putting this intention over yourself before you go out. I'm noticing that there's the buffalo on this tent behind the shaman, and then they are like dressed in the buffalo costume and they both have the horns. So yeah, there's something about like not letting your instincts be something that you reject. Because I feel like we forget sometimes we are animals, especially when it comes to taking care of ourselves or taking care of our survival needs. Or the perverse side of that, where it's like our instincts take over entirely and we aren't able to find the human aspect of ourselves that is a little bit less focused on survival or on the instincts. It's funny that I'm yawning because that's like an instinct. So yeah, like letting yourself be present with the instincts, with what your body's telling you, with these like things that may feel a little more irrational or like they're not serving like a productive purpose necessarily. But recognizing what these instincts are here to show you about your needs, about what you enjoy. Yeah, I'm actually going to put this in the reverse because it came out reversed. Yeah, not shunning those animalistic or primal instincts away. Letting them arise to the surface to see what they have to tell you. Because I feel like the ocean wants you to rewild through this process a little bit more. So that you can be a bit more improvisational wherever you're headed. Because I feel like for a lot of you, you're doing stuff that, like the shaman, you're going to have to improvise. You're going to have to listen. You're going to have to adapt based on the information you're receiving or how things are changing. Because I feel like for a lot of you, at the time that you're finding this reading, you are part of a new wave of energy, especially in the career sector or in things that are, you know, making our society run, society function, because the shaman is the innovator at their core. And it's funny too, because you're getting a second card about like the shaman. This is Magister Arcanorum, teacher of the secrets, and they're placed in between the light and the dark as well, with the crow and the dove. So the peace and the unsettling, the receptive and the active. Yeah, and Magister Arcanorum, this is John the Baptist from Apocalyptic Theater, and John the Baptist is the one who returns to these more shamanic methods of practicing Judaism at the time, leading people back to the simplicity of the divine within the earth plane, within the divine's orchestration of the spirit realm. These practices that were lost to society and civilization. So there's something again about letting the intuition guide. The Magister Arcanorum is the fifth arcana, and this talks about being able to bring divine wisdom in, follow the heart, understand that there is a uniquely designed pathway that each of us has the privilege to walk in this lifetime. Yeah. And that we can only receive that resonance or that understanding through that deeper inner connection and searching within. I do think that connecting with water is going to help you to cleanse this like devil energy, because that's what the Magister Arcanorum does. In the arcane, in the secret, there is a lot of needing to discern between light and dark, between what is a message and what is a redirection. Okay, so in the Road of Fortune is talking about the wheel turning, and I feel like it being in the reverse position is talking about, for some of you, maybe holding yourself back sometimes, and I know that can be hard to hear or hard to accept, but holding yourself back is not necessarily like a self-blame thing so much as it is recognizing that we need to be able to be in the right space to, or in even the right energy to recognize and accept an opportunity. So what feels like maybe a blockage or something that is holding us back is usually something where we're just waiting for the right chance for the wheel to turn, for the miracle to come in, where our faith is kind of the feeling or the sensation that guides our path forward, where we're able to touch the divine more deeply than if we had just had everything handed to us, or things kept running smoothly. There's like kind of a purpose. There's a purpose to this devil energy where we have to take on the costume, or to really move forward kind of disguised or under the radar, facing what our societies tells us is logical, so that we can reconnect with the intuitive. So I want to get you a final message from the Earth Alchemy Oracle to help provide you with a plant or animal ally that the ocean would love for you to connect with. And you've received the citrine and dandelion with Make a Wish, Clearing Comparison, and Surrender to Magic. So again, with this Road of Fortune, the miracle of the water into the wine, you're getting another card about making wishes, surrendering to magic, not comparing yourself to the standards that you think you should be meeting up to, or the structures and systems that are based on logic, based on reasoning. Like when we make a wish on a dandelion and we blow the seeds, we're spreading out intentions that may take root in unexpected ways that we may not see until, maybe the next spring, or there's like a time later in the future where they're ready to germinate. And so with the citrine too, you might want to work with this. And citrine is a stone that's like really powerful for healing our sense of optimism, our sense of faith, our sense of like true empowerment, that who we are at our core is valuable. It really helps us to, again, like it's a wealth drawing stone too, help us connect with opportunities that really resonate with who we truly are. Because I feel like the reason why you might be experiencing some of those blockages or holding yourself back is because who you truly are might be someone that you're rejecting at the moment. And so using this shaman energy, it's time for you to go within and face who you really are, so that you can use that power instead of rejecting it and it making you sick in a lot of ways. So yeah, it's time to surrender to that magic. Group 2, I'm so grateful to the ocean spirit for bringing through such a beautiful message for you, a message of empowerment, a message of wonder, a message that reminds you that even though some people might see the dandelion as a weed, you too are also so valuable in that understated and subtle power that you carry. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in another reading, my friend. Bye. Greetings, group 3. I'm quickly losing my sunlight, but the ocean did tell me that we needed to do this reading right now as the sun is going down. So hopefully you will be able to see well through this reading. I'm so grateful that you are here. First of all, group 3, I just feel such a surge of energy with your group, and I feel like there's going to be a really powerful, beautiful energy that's channeled through in this reading. I don't know if you have a very special connection to the ocean, but it feels like the ocean spirit is just so happy. Like I'm hearing like my child, like, you know, like they're like welcoming you back into their energy. And so if some of you too, I'm feeling, are like landlocked and you used to have a connection with the ocean, no matter how much time that you spent with the ocean, like if you feel that deep resonance with the ocean spirit from any point in your life, I'm feeling like some of you definitely need to hear that the ocean spirit never forgot your essence and really feels like a supportive, guiding spirit from afar, no matter how far you are. And especially for some of you, this message is going to hit deeply if you have been landlocked for a while, or if you also have ancestors who would be very connected to the ocean and to water spirits in general. So yeah, you've chosen the jade crystal here. This one in particular has some gold in it, so I feel like there's something in your aura that's maybe golden. The ocean wants to remind you of just the beauty and the prosperity and also the wonderful technology that's available to you right now. So that's an interesting message. There's something about like, yeah, using spiritual technology, using actual like gadgety technology to help open up your mind, help you to really learn deeply within the information that needs to be unlocked within you so that you can rise again. Because for some of you, I feel like you've gone through a pretty dark and transformative emotional time recently, or something that, if it wasn't dark and transformative, it just feels like there was something that was weighing on you emotionally. And it's like time for you to transform and to see this through new eyes, because there's like these 3 eyes that are rising up from this person, and this almost looks like a book opening too. There's an eye beneath them as well, so they're seeing through their earthly experience, through their subconscious, their conscious, and their super conscious experience. So there's something about your consciousness rising through this time of surrender into emotional cycles that I feel like for a lot of you are coming from many different sources. I wanted to say past lives, but for some of you, this is also like ancestral lines. It's really going to depend on your independent energy. So let's see what this says. And it says, fire, Solaris sublime. We live in a dualistic world, bringing light and dark into balance, and being real with our humanness can allow us to reach more joy, authenticity, and depth. By accepting and loving all of ourselves as we are, we can extend more of this love and have greater compassion for others. This painting portrays the balanced dance of creation. As the dragons come together, they dissolve into one with all that is. In the place of coalescence, both sides fuse in oneness, not just as a re-emerging with the universe, but in an alchemical process of becoming the empowered creator force we truly are. And I was getting that Phoenix energy from you. So there's definitely a sense of like bringing your energy into balance with itself and really recognizing your true power and the beauty and love that you carry within you innately. So let's get to you some tarot. Okay, and you have the Fool or the Fork in the Road, and Lux Occulta, Hidden Light. So you have two majors coming through, 0 and 9. Yeah, I feel like this energy here is so similar. Like you've been going through, again, if it's not resonating that you've been going through a dark energy, maybe check one of the other piles. But it feels like there is a lot of self-observation that you've been doing, where you've been seeing how you're reacting, how you're responding to day-to-day experiences, but also larger themes and patterns in your life where, you know, maybe it's like stressors that are weighing on you, and you're like have these natural conditioned responses, or people who are asking for a lot from you, and you're like giving into certain tendencies of like people pleasing or putting yourself aside, or certain mental patterns and thoughts. There's just like this sense of observation, and then being able to change that energy and like quantum shift pretty significantly and pretty quickly, so that you can evolve your light body, so that you can choose differently, and know yourself more deeply, because the Lux Occulta talks about hidden light. That's what that means. So this is about the hidden light from within, creating that inner fire to be able to get through a certain time period that has been really testing you and challenging your kind of most difficult tendencies, because sometimes we're like clinging on to certain patterns and certain beliefs that are actually beginning to cause harm, and we get out of the sense of like being an innocent victim to that energy, and instead we start becoming kind of the perpetrator of that energy at some point. So this Furka card is talking about a fork in the road, where you can either choose to keep doing things the same way, or begin to do something differently, with a more intentional heart behind it. Okay, I had to turn the light on. Sorry if it got a little dark there. Just so you can't see. So yeah, there's something about balancing something within, and the ocean spirit is really, really proud of you for being able to face these challenging influences in your life, and for a lot of you within your ancestry, making different decisions and really opening your mind. And also doing it with the intention that you are bringing this energy forward for those who need this change in our collective. Because both of these cards reference guidance in some way, with the crown and the staff, but they're different forms of guidance, and they also represent guidance and leadership that can easily become corrupt. And I think a lot of you are recognizing the power that you have, and seeing how you wield that power, kind of beginning to recognize how certain power that is just available in the world is also related to certain levels of corruption, and representing how you may carry that corruption within you, and recognizing how you can transform or shift out of these systems of power that are no longer serving you and no longer serving others within the collective. Because fire is the ultimate transformative element. So let's get some more tarot. Beautiful. The Lovers. Yeah, what is resonating with you, really? The fire also represents something that draws us together. You know, that passion, that creative energy, that life force. And I feel like for a lot of you, there's another message from the ocean spirit that you are getting ready to find some union with some better relationships, or reunion with some relationships that are going to encourage you to discover your true values, and what you'd like to follow within your life, even like what you are falling in love with. So for a lot of you, you're going back to this kind of innocent energy of the lovers, of feeling that attraction, feeling that devotion, and also making a commitment to something, not out of, this feels temporarily pleasurable, but out of a sense of like real deep committed love and devotion, and making that commitment to someone else, or even to an energy of yourself, rather, where when you make that commitment, maybe it extends to other people that you love, but it also comes from a place of deep self resonance, like understanding like this is truly where I belong, and what I believe in. And it's funny because I asked for a clarifier card and we got another 6, which is the 6 of axes, which says journey. So with that phoenix energy coming out initially too, it's like sometimes we have to completely scrap what we've been doing, like completely just burn it down and release the energy to move forward, to move ahead, kind of going into that sunset, embracing the fact that things are maybe leaving our life, that we're having to let go and move forward. Even within like certain dynamics, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of you are ready to face the truth of a lot of things, so that you can build new structures in your life, so that you can find new paths to follow. So, okay, ocean spirits, I hear you. So 6s are an important angel number for you. But this is going to be a guide. And I just heard guardian for you as well. So this energy of the azurite and orchid with the Lyran stargate. This says personal power, healing entanglements, and throat opening. So part of what this transition in your life is talking about, what the ocean wants to help you with in terms of this, is stepping into your leadership so that you may communicate properly, communicate in a way that honors yourself, communicate in a way that creates new realities, new modalities. And with the Lyran Stargate too, this is about like reclaiming injustice, bringing people together, and helping to, again, honor the beauty and the individuality and uniqueness that is inherent in each of our souls and each of our spirits. With that personal power. But first, what you have to do is find your personal power within these systems that make you, we're encouraged to think like that's just the way it is, that's just how something is. And it takes away that personal power and erodes that. And so what the ocean spirit is wanting to show you is that people have done far more with far less. And so it's important for you to be able to use these resources to critically examine what resources that you want to be able to use. And I think I was talking about technology too. So like using technology in ethical ways, using these things to help connect other folks with their personal power, their ability to decide, so that decisions aren't taken away from us. It just feels like very, like you're here to empower yourself and others, and to recognize that kind of like that beautiful ability that we have to create frequency, to channel the divine through the throat, through our voice, through the power of the spoken word, through even like art and poetry, music, song. You're just bringing through something that's helping to release some of these influences right now that are keeping us from that hidden light. Yeah, I wanna read a little bit about that Lyran Stargate, and then we can close the reading out. What page is this? 82. Okay. So, so it's saying that this stone, azurite, is connected to Atlantis and early Egypt because it is a potent psychic stone. Its secrets were known only in the highest, to the highest priests and priestesses. So this is, this stone is also connected to the third eye and chanting to the sun. So another aspect of light. Yeah, sounding and chanting. Sound and chanting are important. So using sound therapy, maybe going to a sound bath, chanting Buddhist, Hindu, or Gregorian chants, prayers, singing bowls, drums, pipes, and voices. Okay, so other ancient civilizations is what it's talking about. Anything connected to the sun with that Lyran energy. Sirius and Orion and Lyra are connected to this. Yeah, so it's saying for a short space of this galaxy's history, it was heaven on earth, much like Lemuria. So a manifestation of like this heavenly energy. Place where we nurtured flora and fauna, received cosmic crystals and plants from many places. Peacekeepers, healers, galactic emissaries of light were here. So yeah, it's time to recognize what is good for you to receive and discern what's maybe not good for you to receive, what's good for you to participate in, and what's maybe not supporting your growth. So it's like being that gatekeeper with the Stargate. And I think that's what the Lovers is talking about too. Like, what do you want to commit to and what is time to move on? Because in a journey, we will, make many friends and have relationships for a season, or have certain habits for a season. Maybe they won't stay forever, but they're here for a certain amount of time. So talking about the orchid. Oh, hold on. I have to read this one. Sorry, my dog's snorting. But so it says, she speaks of finding yourself, talking about azurite. Oh, actually, I'm going to go back. So yeah. It's saying that it's time to step forward as a guide and a protector for yourself. And it says, azurite is steeped in feminine energy. It is connected to Sophia, goddess of wisdom. She speaks of finding yourself and then losing yourself again, but understanding the process it takes you through, honoring the learning in this instant. And I feel like somebody really needed to hear that. So I'm really grateful that you stayed around to listen to that. Because this life is a journey of losing ourselves, especially if you're feeling guilt over losing yourself in a relationship, losing yourself in a job, losing yourself in maybe even a mental health episode or a physical health episode. Just knowing that it's okay and that life can meander, that we can take these times to explore certain resonances and relationships that we have within our soul that we need to recognize in this life. So it's talking about in the orchid about discernment of traveling. So some of you are going to be moving, getting into different dimensional states. More snoring from my dog. So yeah, definitely something about sleep and receiving information from chanting, humming, singing, moving blocked energies through your voice, and then speaking things out and speaking them into existence, and remembering that you have a positive impact through your voice. So that is all I am receiving for you, my beautiful group 3. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you to the ocean spirit for bringing through this beautiful healing message for you today, and any other spirit guide that was present for this reading. I love you so much, and I will see you in another reading, my friend. Bye.